Hey guys, as many of you already know, the style I'm playing is called Noflipping. Since this is one of the most aspiring playstyles right now, I wanted to give you an introduction to it and explain the most important steps to get started. First of all, what even is this so-called noflipping? The thing we noflippers look for is perfection. We are only satisfied with the shot once it fulfills every criteria. Some people could see noflipping as a form of fast freestyling too, but there's way more behind it to just be considered that. Noflipping as itself got invented and famous through a player called Nitrodrift, making it blow up for the first time in late 2018 through getting a montage on the channel of Rocket League FX and creating the probably most known noflip team called Redshift. We will get more into that later in the video. Thankfully, I got to interview Nitrodrift for a few questions. What was noflipping about when you made it big and what were your goals with it?
My biggest thing with no flipping was just hitting the ball as hard as possible and making your camera work look as clean as possible. Getting as much of a flip cancel on the ball as you can, and it just really satisfied me to do that because a lot of people were kind of more focused on the team freestyle and solo freestyle aspect of new type of mechanics, so I felt like it was pretty cool to get a new style of gameplay out there.
Did you ever think that it would end up that well known in the community?
I didn't expect it to get as big as it is now. I'm really glad that I've had a lot of people who have joined the team. I'm pretty lucky to have such a good roster of players and editors as well. I think no flipping has come a long way, and I'm really glad it has.
Okay, and do you think noflipping has evolved from back then until now? And if yes, what are your thoughts about the current state of it?
No flipping has gotten a lot more perfectionist. Back then when I was doing it, it was just like, yeah, I flip canceled on the ball, let's go. That was clean, but now it's a lot more. There's just so much more time that people have put into it, and the community has really upped the level of gameplay in terms of no flipping. And I'm really surprised to see like you and then like other people like Hayon, and you have Shimmy now doing these crazy no cam, reverse cam, swivel cam. Just so much development has happened over the past couple years. It's definitely become more perfectionist, and there's definitely more stylistic value in each different type of goal people scoring.
You'll firstly need the perfect settings. Of course, perfect settings don't really exist. I will explain how you can work with your settings so they feel perfect for you though. Nearly every noflipper plays on a square dead zone. Changing your dead zone to a square shape will make your analog stick feel more responsive, leading to better movement and more precise shots. I'll put a tutorial on how to change it in the description. Now coming to the in-game settings. For your control settings, it will be the best to just copy the settings of a player that you look up to, but don't just leave it like that. Go into training and online games and just play around with the settings a bit to see if they suit you or not, and try to find your perfect customization. Now for the camera, make sure to have maximized FOV, a distance between 220 and 250, height between 100 and 110, and a matching angle from about -4 to -0. To make your plays look speedy and flashy, it is important to have your stiffness at 0.0. And you can experiment with swivel and transition speed. Now we're coming to the things you better avoid while noflipping. First of all, the biggest threat to avoid is a bad flip cancel. It will happen if you don't flick your stick fast enough and mess up the timing on cancelling it. Another important thing you need to focus on during a shot is your cam work. It won't look as good if you have ball cam on during the shot as if you do good cam work. Make sure to turn the ball cam off right before touching the ball and turn it back on after some time to watch the ball going in the goal to see the placement of it. You always want to aim for a good far post top corner placement. After you manage to score an absolute banger, the clip isn't just over yet. After the ball goes in, you have to focus on one additional thing, called celebration. Just awkwardly driving around or standing completely still will make your clip worse or even ruin it, so make sure to use one of these celebrations. First, the Estomo Sally. This 360-degree dash on the wall is called an Estomo. If the circumstances are given, you can use it to do a banger sally. Secondly, dash into the ground. This is the most common celebration. Relatively simple, just flip cancel and air roll as fast as you can do it. Another important thing you need to focus on is getting hit by the goal explosion, since that will make your clip feel more complete. To explain the essential points of noflip a little further, we're going to head to another point now. Targes and teams. Every Rocket League player in the freestyle community of course wants to showcase what they are capable of. For the most freestylers and competitive clip hitters, the desired end product is moments. For no-flippers, the most important videos are their targes. Producing these targes takes mostly from 4 to 6 months, and they contain around 25 to 32 clips on average. The editing style might look very simple at first glance, but there is complexity behind it. The focus here is mostly set on 3 things: the so-called CC, syncing, and cinematics. The most important part in making a Taj is the syncing though. A bad sync can worsen the Taj a lot, no matter on how good the shots are. This point is pretty self-explaining though, since it's pretty much just linking the gold explosions to the parts where the beat drops. Also keep attention on the song you're using. To maintain the uniqueness of every Taj, people hate to see when a song gets reused, so double check if your song has been used before. The last point in editing are cinematics. Cinematics should only be used when there is an issue with your cam work. You have a celebration you don't like, or if you didn't get hit by the gold explosion. So you should definitely make sure you don't have too many cinematics in your Taj. You can also use them as a stylish add-on, but seeing the shot in your POV is always the best choice. To get into the teams a little more, let's look at 2 of them who have specialized on no-flipping. Redshift is the oldest no-flip team, so all of their players are basically legends in the community. They focus on producing the craziest high-quality over-edits that you'll ever see. What does the term over-edit mean though? Go ahead and see it for yourself. Unfortunately, projects like these take a huge amount of time to make, so their upload speed is approximately 1 video in 3 months. Since Redshift is only collecting the best of the best, it is unfortunately one of the hardest teams to get into, but still a huge motivation provider. On the other hand, Scythe is uploading more frequently, approximately every month. Instead of the Redshift typical over-edit, you'll see normal no-flip Tages with a little more editing here. This team is one of the most aspiring teams and uploads banger content, giving off a different vibe than Redshift and making themselves more unique day by day. Definitely a team to grind for. Unfortunately, both of these teams are invite only, and you can't apply for them, so you better produce a banger Taj to get their attention. Finally, we arrived at my favorite part of the video, the 5 best Tages to get motivation from, in no particular order. Puzzle by Stunner. Stunner is definitely the fastest dasher out there. The song and his speedy playstyle are matching up perfectly, making this Taj super enjoyable. Twilight by Sours. Every shot is unique and perfectly executed. Every time I see this Taj, my motivation for the game just starts peaking. Melt by Shimmy. This man is just nuts. He perfected cam work in every kind of way and made his unique style. So this Taj is giving up a super refreshing vibe, always motivating me to try unusual shots. Wanderer by Taku. Taku has ridiculous movement and is mixing up the MLG style and no-flipping perfectly, making Wanderer an absolute masterpiece. And last but not least, Spirit by Tempo. Tempo is just crazy. His consistency of being good in 1s and 2s at the same time is just mind-blowing, so he definitely deserved a place on here. At the end of this video, I want to give a quick evaluation on no-flipping. No-flipping is one of the hardest, if not the hardest playstyle. Focus is set on perfection, but it's definitely worth trying, even for not experienced people. Grinding is incredibly fun, and it is one of the best feelings to drop a Taj. I have to tell you guys one last important thing though. Don't aim for really high standards on your first Taj. Currently, many people with huge potential are quitting because they get demotivated aiming for too high standards. Set your focus on your own skills and try to become better and better each day. If you enjoy a shot you hit, use it for your Taj. The main goal is liking every shot in your own Taj. Thank you everyone for watching and have fun at no-flipping.